There was this night in the milk bar in Jacksonville when I tried to go to the boys' room, but they had this long, shiny urinal trough. It was really quite nice, but it was built way too high for a short dude like me. I tried. I remembered way back to the 1937 Dirty Olympics and the men's uphill distance piss. You learn to use technique, get plenty of back arch, pelvic thrust, knee bend. I still couldn't quite make it. But I got too much class to do it on the floor, so I made this quick dash to the wash basin. It was okay. I let the hot water run afterward, and nobody saw me. But it did take me back to the glorious days of the last Dirty Olympics back in 1937, where I participated in 2 events and did the judging in a couple of more. The high point really was judging the women's speed shit. Now, back then, baseball players didn't use batting helmets, football players didn't wear face guards, and speed shit officials didn't wear safety goggles. It was hard judging speed shitting. You didn't have photo timers, you just had to use your own judgment. But it was easy enough to tell who'd been eating hot peppers the night before. You'd be down on your knees looking up and suddenly get this burning squirt of shit in the eye. And it was a very tough event to score properly. Next day, just before the closing ceremony, came the event that I'd been training for the entire preceding year. The men's and women's combined 1-mile diarrhea run. Part of the rules were that you had to eat burritos stuffed with raw green peach mash the night before, and then monitored and prevented from using the toilet or you'd get disqualified. And then once the race started, you had to cross the finish line without voiding, without shitting once. Tactics were important. If you settled into a long, loping stride, you could run faster, but you ran a greater risk. On the other hand, if you used a short, choppy stride, you'd keep a tighter asshole, but you'd be way too slow. And now I was in a race, and people were dropping out left and right, and suddenly there was only 200 yards to go, and I had the lead and was pulling away from the field. Suddenly I felt a twinge in the gut, followed by a little puk sound. And this was probably nothing more than a slightly damp fart. I sucked in air, kept going, and finally breasted the tape. People ran up to me, smiling and backslapping, but the smiles quickly froze and turned to looks of horror and disgust. I looked down at my legs, and shoes were covered with shit. Not ordinary shit, but hot, steamy, liquid, smelly shit. And I never got my gold medal. Next year was 1938, and the clouds of another world war forever destroyed the international ideals of the Dirty Olympics, and they were never held again. But for a brief 15 seconds, I had my moment of glory, only for my own career to be shattered by one vitally mistimed shit. This local newspaper, the Gainesville Sun, says it's pretty bad for small kids to play with loaded guns and shoot their cousins in the head, even when they don't really mean it. But then, in a different section of the same newspaper, they run an ad advertising this big gun and knife show down at the Radisson Hotel. Kids 10 and under admitted free. Bring your own cousin for target practice. Instruction given, proper stance, even trigger pressure. Don't flinch and all that shit. Look, there are all kinds of crap in local newspapers. Like these tips in the Independent Alligator, the college paper on health and human performance. Like to protect yourself during oral sex, use a dental dam or a condom split up the middle. So the next time my big chance came up, I excused myself nicely and went in the bathroom to get ready and came back all set. My mouth full of vinyl and rubber and plastic, and an utterly romantic expression on my face. And this really sweet young lady became sort of hysterical. She didn't know whether to laugh or cry, shriek, or turn blind, or to blame herself for not listening to her roommate's advice on going out with me to start with. So I felt desperately rejected and deeply, deeply frustrated, because I grew this nice little beard and mustache back a couple of years ago, and it takes a lot of work to keep it styled. And the way life is going, I'm never, never, ever going to use it as fully as nature intended. I didn't know it was Yom Kippur evening. She forgot. And Al is at the door 4 hours early. And she's in panic, and I'm in the bedroom wearing nothing but Al's socks. There's no back exit, and like hell, no fire escape. Whoom, 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 dive, dive, dive. Under the bed, life for a moment is deceptively calm. I hear footsteps, voices, the dreadful small talk of middle-class family life. That I can't take. I'm out of here. Pants tightly clutched, I slide out from the bed and try to slide quietly past the bathroom door. But Al, the pig, is taking a shit with the bathroom door wide open. In horror, our eyes meet, but I'm through the kitchen and out the apartment and down 3 flights of stairs, socks naked, balls bouncing, slipping on pants before anyone sees. This all happened back in September 1946, and I think I'm still here because a certain Al once stopped to wipe his ass before trying to kill me.
Awesome. You have to get this is Howard J. Reynolds, and you're listening to Less Than J.
Yeah, do that. Like a radio announcer. This is Howie J. Reynolds.